It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast. The drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast.
Oh, my mic. I hold my mic like this now and I whisper really close. No one wants to hear that. Anyways, welcome back to the Odd Drunk Podcast.
Are we an ASMR podcast?
Yeah.
Or we're the opposite of ASMR?
That's hoppy. Woo. Anyways, welcome back to the Odd Drunk Podcast. We're a little late here. I'm not sure when we're going to actually release this, but by the time you're listening to this, it's been released.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. Anyways, we're going back to a tried and true topic here, going back to some spooky again.
Yeah, I don't want to say lazy, but when we don't have a lot of ideas and we want to come up with something good, spooky is the way to go.
Spooky's always the way to go. I mean, some of our most popular episodes
And
are
spooky's
what
fun.
I would consider spooky.
Yeah.
And
Spooky's
we're getting
fun.
back into.
I like spooky, even though it's not Spooktober. Doesn't mean we can't be spooky.
It can always be spooky. You know, it's always Spooktober in our hearts, right?
Yeah.
But in March. Anyways, gonna talk about some SCPs again. It's
Yes.
been a while. I think the last one we did last summer.
Yeah. It's been
It's summer SCPs. So it's almost been a year since we even talked about SCPs. And for those who don't know, it's basically this big creative writing, you know, it's kind of spawned from creepypastas and everything, and then it's a very specific scientific clinical format, you know, like secret Pentagon, FBI, you know, CIA documents type thing. If you're on the internet, you should have some idea what the SCP is. They're not as popular anymore. They've definitely hit their peak and fallen, but they're fun to talk about, and they're still making them. People are still making new ones, and
they are having the contest right now for SCP number 8,000.
8,000 now. Wow. It's crazy. I picked a lot from the latest series, from 7,000 on, series 8, and but I don't think we have a particular theme here.
No.
This is gonna be a lot like our first SCP episode where we just talked about SCPs. There's no particular theme or shall I say gimmick to this episode, aside from talking about SCPs. So it's anything goes here. I'm sure we might have some really spooky ones, and then some might just be jokes. But that's the fun of it, right? Or just straight up weird. Or maybe a fetish, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I discovered I went on to Reddit, and I discovered that there's a lot of fetish stuff also. It's SCPs.
Yeah.
And there's some actual SCPs from early days of the SCP when it was a little bit less moderated that are just straight up fetish pages.
Yeah, the wild days.
Yeah. So when you're looking at early SCPs, you got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah,
you might accidentally click on pick something that's a little kinky.
You might get something that's a little bit more than spooky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sure I've got some fun ones here. I've got a long one, I've got a couple shorter ones. we're gonna do it as we always go. We're each gonna take turns reading. However, I might. No, we'll just do it how we always do
Yeah.
it. If I feel like I need help reading one or something, um, I'll let you know. But
We're just playing it by ear.
yeah,
I've got a bunch of tabs
playing by ear
open, and we're just gonna go through them. We're gonna go take turns going through some
until we
SCPs,
finish or until we
talking
are
about them.
satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I so I heard you got a lot from like the first series, right?
Um, more like yeah, yeah, from between 1,000 and 3,000 is where a lot of mine come from. But
Okay, all
I
right.
have some later ones too. I have one from the fifth series and sixth series.
Nice,
So
nice.
yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, at least one of these I know you've heard of, but I thought it was kind of cool, and I don't think we talked about it yet. So
You know, one of the most popular one, or the original SCP actually, 173, the sculpture.
mhm.
Due to licensing copyrights, the artist that originally made it wanted taking it down because uh I forgot the exact reasons, but the original picture isn't there anymore.
Yeah, because
Um
SCP like kind of started as a just a fun like you take a creepy looking picture and you write like a backstory for it, right?
yeah.
So of course a lot, um the people who make the SCPs don't necessarily own the pictures that they
No.
use. Yeah.
But now it's become such a big thing that copyright becomes the issue and licensing, all that kind of stuff.
hmm
In fact, I'm curious, and I didn't search this before recording, but since Steamboat Willie's gone royalty free now, or not royalty,
Public
public
domain.
domain,
Yeah.
uh, I'm curious if there's like some kind of Steamboat Willie SCP,
I
and if
bet
there
there's
is,
I bet there's going to be. Yeah.
there either is going to be or someone already made one and was ready,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I know
I
there's gonna be like horror movies. Oh yeah.
okay.
Well, on r/scp on how long do you think it would take for a Steamboat Mickey to become an SCP, be it well written or not? Um,
Well, there's
and apparently it already, as of now, it exists.
I know
Or this is a Disney one I found. I
Four
might read
Noses
it.
Brewing Company put out a public domain beer that has Steamboat Willie on the can. It's an IP. It's a double IPA, I think.
Oh, nice. Speaking of IPAs and beers, I am drinking from Four Peaks Brewing.
Mm.
Saw it looked interesting. Dank juice, or no, recreational juice, dank IPA, whatever that means. And apparently, what it means is just extremely hoppy. If you
Yeah,
would have given this to me as my first IPA, and I've had IPAs just like this, and they can be good. And this one, you know, straight out of the fridge, it's not bad at all.
yeah. But just really
Oh.
overpowering.
If and only if you like that kind of thing, you like IPAs at all.
Yeah,
But it's good cold. Um, and 7% ABV, so
yeah,
can't complain there.
yeah.
And cool enough
Definitely have to get a picture of
design
that up
there.
on the Instagram.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
because we're doing that now again.
I'm drinking. I made a drink tonight. It is a Winston Churchill style martini.
How
Yeah, it's just gin.
fancy.
Just gin in a glass.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking right now.
I vaguely thought about Italy when I poured the gin, and that counts as the vermouth. Yeah.
Do you have any flashbacks?
That is kind of
Mussolini flashbacks?
the joke is Winston Churchill would he would drink martinis, but I think he just called them martinis as an excuse to just drink straight gin.
I was just looking on Steam. There's already, it looks bad and low budget, but there's already a Steamboat Willie horror game.
Of course.
It's like a Slender clone.
Oh.
It has 22 reviews, mostly positive, and it's free.
Oh. Free is good.
Apparently, it requires 8 GB RAM.
Huh.
Very fun game. Steamboat Willie makes me Willie scared. Very good. Anyways, I just had to check. I'm surprised there's not a proper. I mean, they could have already made that. I mean, I know there was not to go on a tangent here. I mean, it's semi-related. There's the Sad Mickey creepypasta or whatever, Suicide Mouse.
Yeah.
You know, that's satire. Essentially, you can
Yeah.
make satire of anything within certain limits. I mean, you could still be not prosecute, but you could definitely break copyright claim, and stuff like that.
It's
Even when you're making satire.
copyright, and also you can break
Exactly.
trademark
Yeah.
stuff if you're not careful, because satire covers copyright, it doesn't cover trademark.
No.
So
Like,
I mean,
like Mickey Mouse, the modern, version of Mickey Mouse, like Disneyland stuff. Just because Steamboat Willie went into the public domain doesn't mean Mickey Mouse, the character, is in the public domain.
yeah, just the version of Mickey Mouse that was in Steamboat Willie.
Now, as time goes on, more and more different cartoons and stuff are going into public domain.
Yeah.
In fact, I think by like 2035 or something like that, Batman is going to be in the public domain. The original So the original comic issue,
the Detective Comics
with the purple gloves, and you could use that version of Batman to do anything, even though there's parodies and satire everywhere anyways now.
But you can make something that's
it's really not
satire.
You could just make a Batman fan film, and
that's the key with Steamboat Willie being in the public domain, is if you're using that version of Mickey Mouse as it's depicted in Steamboat Willie, you can make your own fan film that's not satire.
I could make and sell my own merch.
The one thing you have to be careful with is trademark, though, because while Mickey Mouse, as appears in Steamboat Willie, is public domain, if you use Steamboat Willie in merchandise or any sort of product, if Disney can argue in court that your product might be confused for a Walt Disney Company product, then they can get you on trademark. So you have to be really careful. Yeah.
I mean, I've got headphones on, but I got the Steamboat Willie hat at Disneyland.
Nice.
I couldn't make this and sell this.
No.
I could sell my version of Steamboat Willie.
Yeah,
but
you could
even still
you
be
could
argued.
slap. Yeah, You'd have to be, because if you could theoretically slap Steamboat Willie onto a t-shirt or a hat and sell it, but you have to do something to make it very clear that this is not a Disney product.
It's not Disney.
So like I know $6 Tees,
And like this has
that website
Disneyland on the back.
is selling Steamboat Willie shirts now.
Oh yeah.
But like it's very obviously, because it's on their website and all that sort of stuff, is a $6 Tees product. You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's Steamboat
Yeah,
Willie.
you're
though,
not trying to trick the customer. And you're not branding it as a Disney
Mhm.
product. Anyways. Yeah, I looked and I didn't find any actually good or any kind of Steamboat Willie SCP, but I'm sure we're gonna get one eventually. But
Yeah.
let's
Oh yeah.
anyways. So yeah, here on this episode, and yeah, no particular theme here. I've got a cute one to start us out on, if you don't
Nice. Yeah, I don't mind.
mind. You can we could have the spooky music or whatever, the ambient music playing now.
Ambiance.
Ambiance, yes. Beyonce.
Ambiance. That's
Beyonce.
yeah. What do you
No,
what
we
do you
can't play Beyonce. That's
what what would you call, the ambiance in the opening to a Beyonce video? It's ambiance.
yeah.
Anyway,
Turn my
continue.
brightness down. Jeez, it's like on this gaming.
Oh, by the way,
HDR, and
I mentioned I'm drinking gin. It's the same gin from the last episode, Damn Smooth Gin, out of Golden, Colorado, from State 38 Distilling.
Whoops, the daisies.
I could have poured a glass of wine, but I didn't. I don't know.
All right, my screen's back. It's really bright. I love this monitor, but it's tricky to actually adjust the brightness or anything. It's like all auto configured, and apparently its configuration is bright as fuck. Blasting my eyes out. I have it on like night mode, where it blocks the blue light.
Yeah.
So it's a warm tone. I used to wear when I was in school. I'd wear those blue light glasses.
My
Actually come in handy.
my actual glasses have blue light filters in them.
Oh, nice. That's smart. Yeah,
Like my vision isn't terrible. I can get by without glasses. They help me focus a lot. But the other reason
Yeah.
I wear them is because I work with screens all day. And if I don't wear them, I will have a massive headache by the end of the day. Yeah. And they do help me see a little
Right.
bit too. But that's one of the reasons why I probably wouldn't be wearing them, right now at night in the evening if I wasn't sitting in front of computer screens doing a podcast.
Okay, well, do you have one you want to get
Yeah.
started? I
Yeah.
I said I have a cute one that we
I
could
got
get
a
started on.
lighthearted one.
Okay,
here.
cool.
So you can still find your cute one.
Well, I have it. I'm trying to get my really fucked up one ready. But it has like different links I have to unlock.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those where it's like unassuming at first. But there's links.
All right. So I got this one. It's SCP 1867.
Okay, SCP-1867. Everybody write that down in your notebooks.
Yes. There will be a pop quiz. Yeah. I won't
For
know the
me?
answers. Yeah, I won't know the answers either. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to give an answer. I'm going to go, that sounds right. I don't know.
Let's do this.
I'd be a terrible teacher. Object class, anomalous organism, sapient. Containment class, passive. Hazard
Let's start this
rating.
over again. Let's
Yeah.
do it with some gravitas.
Ah.
So yeah, these articles, if you haven't listened to our other SCP episodes, you'll see how they go. They all follow the same kind of format usually. And but yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You're gonna cheese it.
Give me your best like spooky SCP voice.
All right. SCP. No, not like that.
Okay, just do your normal voice. Thank you very much.
All right. SCP 1867. Containment or object class anomalous organism sapient. Containment class passive. Hazard rating green. Standard containment policies. Aquatic specimen tank small. Environment and care requirements identical to that of non-anomalous members of the species. Associated items placed in secure storage vault 16. Amenities available upon request. Special containment procedures. All
Is
descriptions.
this a fish?
It's a snail.
Oh, is this a snail that kills you if it touches you or something?
No. This is a cool snail.
Well, that's a cool snail. A snail that kills you on
But
contact.
that's a scary snail. This isn't a scary snail.
Okay, this is this is like a cool like jivin.
Yeah, a
snail, like
jivin
that
snail.
kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
All of the descriptions of anomalous persons, places, or objects made by SCP-1867 must be correlated by at least 2 other sources before resources may be allocated for further research. Description: SCP-1867 is not a branch of the species Nimbrotha kubriana, variable
Side
neon
note,
slug.
before you continue,
Yeah.
there's a lot of clinical, scientific terms in these,
Yeah.
and the more we drink, it gets harder and harder for us to pronounce it. It already is by default. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's gonna be a great time. That's part of the fun with these episodes. That's definitely part of the fun. So, just
Yeah.
get ready for that.
You get to see us hear us stumble through some of these pronunciations.
Might see us someday if we decide to.
The variable
I don't want to.
neon slug, measuring 11.7 centimeters in length. There are no physical differences between SCP-1867 and any other members of its species. SCP-1867 is sapient and capable of telepathic communication with the same
that's cool.
range as a typical human voice. It identifies itself as Lord Theodore Thomas Blackwood, a British explorer and naturalist.
It's this one?
Yeah.
That's a whole like canon like story
Yeah.
in the SCP universe. Lord Blackwood, like he kind of is like this Indiana Jones, James Bond type character that goes on all these adventures with different SCPs. He meets the Bigfoots. There's one adventure where him and Theodore Roosevelt try to kill the world's hardest to kill lizard or whatever it's called. Anyways, but he ends up turning into a snail.
Yep.
So.
But
there's cool lore. There's cool.
Yeah, this doesn't go into that, but yeah, there's people have written some fun stories. A British explorer and naturalist, and speaks with terminology and style appropriate to late 19th century England, is generally friendly and cooperative with researchers. SCP-1867 makes repeated claims of past exploits and accomplishments, including service in the Second Opium War, expeditions to remote regions of the world, and encounters with various rare creatures and uncontacted peoples. Despite the questionable validity of many of its claims, SCP-1867 has shown in-depth knowledge of geography, zoology, botany, archaeology, anthropology, and linguistics relating to its claimed regions and of exploration, as well as more esoteric fields such as obscure mythology, mysticism, and cryptozoology. SCP-1867 does not seem to realize or willfully ignores any inconsistencies in its own recollections, as well as any events or information dating after approximately 1910. So it talks a lot of shit
And it's
and
yeah, it's an
exaggerates its tales a lot.
arrogant professor type,
Yeah.
and it's a snail.
A neon snail. Yes.
Neon.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Investigation or no. When requests to give proof of requested to give proof of its exploits, SCP-1867 provided an address near redacted England, claiming that it would be more than willing to donate its collection. Investigation of the address led to a cottage owned by a one Miss Redacted, who claimed to be keeping the house for Lord Blackwood. Further questioning failed to reveal any details of SCP-1867's nature or origins beyond what information SCP-1867 had already provided. Miss Redacted died of heart failure 5 days after Foundation agents began investigations. The investigation of the college revealed an underground vault containing over 3,000 artifacts, zoological and botanical species, a library containing over 5,000 items, and a functioning, if outdated, laboratory. All materials within the collection were cataloged, removed, and relocated by the Foundation over the course of 3 weeks. Amendum 1. A full listing of items recovered from SCP-1867's collection may be found in the document 1867 VL. A summary of noteworthy items is as followed: 116 unknown species of plants, 107 unknown species of insects, 28 unknown species of lizards, 23 unknown species of fish, 14 unknown species of amphibians, 12 unknown species of mammals, fossils pertaining to 8 unknown species of dinosaur, fossils pertaining to 12 unknown species of prehistoric mammal, artifacts belonging to 29 unknown indigenous cultures, 35 handwritten journals containing records of events described by SCP-1867, written accounts matched with verbal, save variations and exaggerations on the part of SCP-1867 in retelling.
Yes, there's proof.
Yeah. And have been dated to the appropriate time period of the events described. 20 kilograms of processed opium, collection of firearms made make and model not correlating to any known manufacturers, including 3 wide-bore muskets marked as Dr. B.T. Moth's effective particle destabilizers. These items are non-functional. Detailed globes of Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the Galilean moons, accompanied by notes detailing possible paths of surface exploration. Heavy modified
Yeah, I think there's a story where he travels with like some astronauts in the 1890s, like the early French film about the moon. What is it called?
The Trip to the Moon.
Trip to the Moon. It's like that, where it makes
By,
no sense. It's steampunk technology. They're like in a
what's his
submarine in
name?
space.
Méliès. Is it Georges Méliès? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that. And he goes to like some planet and they fight aliens. One of his adventures. Whatever.
I'll have to read some of these. A heavily modified 4-seat horse carriage containing instruments of unknown purpose. A note attached to the door reads, "On the Fritz, speak with Henry," in handwriting matching that of the journals. Data expunged. 4 agents were killed after activation before the object was destroyed. When questioned about the item, SCP-1867's response was, "I did warn you to be careful about my collection. That bloody thing nearly took my head off in Woking back in 79 when I found it." Amendum 2. The following
How
interview
do you
is
turn into a snail?
I don't know if it ever says. I don't think it does. Amendum 2. The following
Another
interview is
story.
dated redacted 2012. Doctor redacted. Good morning, Lord Blackwood. Ah, good morning, Doctor. Wonderful to see you. Come in, come in. Have yourself a seat. Now, if I remember correctly, last time you were here, I was telling you about the time I was captured by the Ubula tribe of the Congo. Actually, I have some questions about that story today. Our research turned up no trace of those people, though they don't seem to exist. Of course not. There weren't any of the Ubula tribe left after the village was attacked by the uh, Mokole Mbembe. I still remember not being able to bag that monster when I had the chance. It is a persistently evasive creature. That's a stretch, sir. Do you have any corroborating evidence? Just to make sure what you're saying is true. There's always a chance that your vault was filled with fakes. Nonsense. I would never fabricate any of my works. Why, it's against the very heart of being a naturalist. While I am repeatedly amazed by your institution here, you seem to be missing the explorer's spirit. When I scaled the Himalayas in search of the monks of the Golden Mountain, I did I worry about what others had to say about them? Of course not. When I found out for myself, I climbed those mountains with my own two hands. Do you realize you're a slee slug, right? Good heavens, Boyer, have you been drinking? That's utterly ridiculous. If you can't be bothered to be sensible, I have no reason to speak with you. Go get yourself a nice cup of tea and sober up. So he doesn't
realize he's a
realize.
slug.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that he's a slug.
hmm
Yeah, that's a pretty fun one.
That's it.
That one, that's one of the things I love about SCP. You have one article that seems like nothing or just like a joke thing, but then there's all this lore and all these stories behind it.
Yeah.
Fucking mosquito. Anyways, yeah.
That's sometimes the fun of the shorter, because some of the SCP articles can be really long.
Yeah,
But I like the shorter ones
I-
because it leaves more
leaves more to the imagination.
yeah.
Maybe it leads to some other long stuff. Yeah, definitely. Um, anyways, I got a cute one.
Mhm.
We're starting out, we're kind of warming up here, getting back into it, right? And then I'm gonna go into some really spooky ones. But anyways, here we go. SCP 7156. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-7156 is kept in a secure confinement chamber located at Site-121's Mundane Objects Wing. Tests are restricted to personnel of Level 2 clearance and above. Description: SCP-7156 refers to a standard Rubik's Cube, three-dimensional combination puzzle produced by conglomerate Rubik's brand Spin Master. Physically, the object possesses no notable abnormal qualities. When any of SCP-7156's rows or columns are turned, it causes an anomalous effect to occur within its, well, this is crossed out, but within its immediate vicinity. The scope and limitation of these properties are undetermined as of yet, with resultant events being sporadic in nature and lacking any noticeable structure or correlation with one another. The only concrete association between the abnormality is a non-zero level aspect radiation emitted by SCP-7156 upon every turn, implying the object is ontokinetic in nature to a certain degree. So it's a Rubik's Cube that does weird stuff, but they're not really sure what it does or what's causing it. But here we go. Experiment log.
Just a
The
weird
following is
Rubik's
an
Cube.
experiment. Yeah, it's a weird Rubik's Cube. There's something off about it. The following is an experiment conducted by researchers Julia Menders, and Benedict Redhill in SCP-7156's containment cell. Both personnel are qualified experts in fields of thaumatology and the ontokinesis, respectively. All right, so the recording begins. Redhill, are we good to go? Locked and loaded, Benny. Good, good. This is experiment log 71562. I repeat, this is the second experiment log for anomaly 7156. Personnel present are level 2 researchers Benedict Redhill and Ms. Menders, Julia Menders, reporting for duty. We'll just be doing the same as the log before, simply turning the sides of 5-6 and seeing what happens. Let's hope things don't get messy on our end. And yeah, we'll be starting now. Yes, if you would, Julia. Say less, Benny. Make sure you get your pen and paper ready. Menders picks up 7156 and briefly inspects it before turning its top side. Suddenly, a slice of cake manifests on the table following a short burst of light. Both staff gaze at the slice before turning to each other. It's cake. And it looks pretty... Menders examines the cake slice. Yeah, it looks pretty conventional. Nothing too out of place. How does it taste, though? Why don't you have a taste? Sure, I like cake.
I wouldn't taste it.
Redhill... Yeah, that seems dangerous and
Yeah.
stupid. Redhill sets down his clipboard and pen, lifting the slice of cake to the eye level and rotating it. Squinting his eyes as he does so, he takes a bite of the cake before chewing, showing a confused expression on his face. You know, it's probably better if we get a fork from... Suddenly, the slice squeals and shakes in position, catching both personnel off guard. Redhill ceases chewing and swallows. Its scream is similar to that of an infant child. Oh, this is a carrot cake. Ew.
What?
Menders reaches for SCP-7156 and turns the same side. Carrot cakes are really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Even a
yeah,
bad
good,
one is.
Good carrot cakes, yeah.
And turns the same side the other way, causing the slice to dissipate. Redhill writes down on his notepad. Menders. Okay, let's try that again. Different side. Menders turns another one of SCP 71, I'm just gonna say 56's sides. Momentarily slice follows before 2 dice fall from above and perch on the ground. Redhill picks up the dice and paws, then decides to roll them onto the table. Both dice land on a halo symbol. Would you look at that? Seems like luck is on our side. The dice gradually rise into the air as they glow brighter and brighter. Both personnel close their eyes and put their palms together as orchestral music subtly increases in volume from an unknown source, accompanied by an unidentified choir. The dice proceed to circle one another, closing the distance between them. Bad. Amen. Praise the Lord. Our probability is within thee. Both dice catch on fire before immediately becoming ash and disappear. Menders opens her eyes and checks her surroundings before judging Redhill, causing him to open his eyes as well. Quickly makes another note on his clipboard. Man, that was life-changing. I feel like a Puritan. I'm more of a Catholic personally. Menders glares at Redhill and scoffs. We're not friends anymore. I'm sorry. It's all right. I forgive you. Let bygones be bygones, as they say. Menders and Redhill shake hands and smile at each other. You can say that again. Redhill marks down the events prior while Menders rubs her chin, blinking several times as she fixates upon the SCP. Former takes notice and briefly turns to the object. Redhill. Is something wrong? Benny, remind me. Have we ever solved 7156? No, surprisingly enough, we've only been turning sides here and there. Well, I figure we might as well get it out of the way. Maybe something extra peculiar happens when we get those 6 matching sides. I don't see why not, though it's going to take a while since we're supposed to jot down anything that occurs when interacting with the object. Unless you're planning to do this as quickly as possible. Definitely. I'm sure the folks receiving the logs can write everything to paper while we're doing this, regardless of the rate everything happens. Suit yourself. Cool beans. Menders lifts SCP-7156 once more and grins. You ready? Red Hill nods. All right, here we go. Menders proceeds to solve SCP-7156, turning its sides in immediate succession. The lights soon flicker as numerous abnormalities begin to occur. The walls of the holding chamber shift in composition to resemble human flesh. Red Hill feels a sharp pain as he falls to his knees, and his right arm changes to that of a Spinosaurus. A Spinosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
A sorrel horse manifests and relays a knock-knock joke using a male voice before abruptly detonating. It remains splattered across the room. Red Hill attempts to wipe the blood off from his lab coat, while Menders continues without hesitation. A sequel to the Titanic movie is suddenly announced, despite Foundation staff working for the industry, stating that no plans to do this have been formed. A person resembling the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, burst into the room with confused expression. Red Hill pulls out a handgun and shoots him with his Spinosaurus arm. Beatles then occur.
Beatles.
As in the band. The Beatles occur.
Oh, they just occur.
Hello, I'm Paul. Yeah. I'm Ringo. It's me, John Lennon. Anyways, orange, white, and purple flowers sprout from the walls. English actor Tom Holland becomes a prime minister, and the number of bagels currently present on the Earth is now considered false. Menders coughs and spits out multiple luminescent gemstones, while various house appliances appear on the table, screaming before immediately dissipating. Red Hill proceeds to go to a nearby convenience store after putting down his pen and notepad. Concentrated hydrochloric acid begins seeping from the walls. An invisible humanoid entity then manifests in the corner of the containment chamber, wearing a stained apron along with numerous kitchen amenities. They appear to be mixing ingredients in a bowl. Suddenly, all plant life immediately surrounding Site-121 convert to books detailing various puzzle games, including Rubik's Cubes. Sandwiches are now legal in all states except Illinois. The aforementioned entity sets down a cake on the table. Before Menders can get a slice, however, the specimen cuts open the cake to reveal the multitude of knives inside. Oh, a knife cake. Okay.
Knife cake. The best
Causing
kind
her
of cake.
causing her to sigh in disappointment. The entity then exits the premises after eating the cake themselves, expressing no sense of pain while doing so. A fifth wall is abruptly formed, painted black and decorated with a number of glittery stars. Red Hill returns to the holding cell with tears in his eyes as he holds a plastic bag. The frequency of babies being kicked out of self-defense swiftly rises. A majority of wildlife are now associated with octagons, while a random addition to the Foundation's employment conditions states that a minimal of 3 years of experience in the anime community is required. Every staff in Site-121 suddenly exclaims that chairs are cool before shredding every chair in the facility. So it's just a bunch of random shit that's happening because they're turning it so frequently, solving it, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, it goes on. A humanoid entity wearing scarlet clothing manifests, claiming to be of royalty before attempting to murder Menders and Redhill using thaumaturgy, which is magic, right? That's magic.
Yeah, I think.
That's a scientific. Yeah. They failed to do so as Redhill takes out a jar of peanut butter from the plastic bag and throws it at the specimen's face. Knocking them out, Menders begins summarizing the events of The Great Gatsby, while aquatic life is now considered illegal worldwide. As she finishes recounting what happens in the novel, how to do that in high school. Anyways, a third of Foundation personnel are recruited into the IRS. Oh, and it's tax season. Anyways, an individual who claims to be Jesus Christ then becomes an internet celebrity, growing a cult following as they radiate intense levels of Akiva radiation, whatever that is. It's probably some SCP thing. Holes abruptly form on the chamber walls as branches sprout from undetermined source inside them. Stop sign then manifests before Menders and Redhill as sirens blare all around in Morse code. Menders suddenly ceases turning SCP-7156's sides, causing the lights to stop flickering. She is breathing heavily. Redhill raises his eyebrow. Menders, this is it. This is it. Menders shows Redhill SCP-7156, which is solved, with exception to its top side. After turning this, we'll finally find out what happens when it's finished. All right, go ahead. Let's see. Well, what? What if we don't need to find out? Pardon? Last I recall, you made the suggestion to solve it. I don't see why you're suddenly reluctant to do it now. Think about it, Benny. Menders turns to the ceiling. A light shines on her face. During our time on this planet, we as humans, the Foundation, have tried to further our knowledge of the world. But with every new thing we discover, we are constantly reminded of how little we actually know. Every time we shine light on something alien, we see just how dark it really is out there. The surroundings dim in brightness as the aforementioned light becomes more intense. It can be so tiring, you know. The constant cycle of renewed information just to be confronted with our lack of it. We don't need to keep doing this. We can just be satisfied with what we know now. We can be content. Be okay with just living our lives in ignorance, not worrying about anything that hides before us. Peace, harmony, tranquility. Doesn't that sound appealing, Benny? Aren't we fulfilled enough as it is? We don't have to push our boundaries anymore. Menders turns to Redhill, who has his mouth agape. Mouth agape. That's not the article. Yes, Benny, what do you have to say? Redhill grabs 7156 from Menders. I don't care. Redhill turns and solves SCP-7156, placing it down on the table. A brief moment of silence passes. Both staff look around, but cannot discern any differences. Weird. Yeah, I suppose that's that. Suddenly, 7156 lifts itself in the air as it glows various colors. The object exerts a force which causes Menders and Redhill to propel backwards and fall to the ground. Begins mixing itself and as all the anomalous events mentioned above reverts. Eventually, SCP-7156 ceases movement and lands once more, losing its light. The two slowly rise and groan in pain as they dust themselves off. What the hell was that? Both staring blankly at the SCP. What's wrong?
Oops.
Menders turns to find a small piece of paper sticking from one of the object's sides, which contains an inscription. She nears the table and takes out the note, blinking several times as she views its contents. Well, what does it say? There are always more ways to solve a Rubik's Cube. 43 quintillion, to be exact. Never stop turning. Then some crude drawing of a swan. Quite the statement. It's certainly philosophical. Philosophy. Shit. A ringing noise can be discerned. Do you want to try solving it again? Definitely. Round 2. Let's go. Red Hill's phone begins to buzz, startling both personnel. Oops, sorry, I have to take this. Red Hill takes the phone call as Mender waits. After a while, he falls silent as he hangs up, staring at the floor. She takes notice and looks around in confusion. So who's that? The site director. What? Our site director. He called me regarding various events which occurred worldwide, all anomalous in nature. Apparently, all of them happened almost instantly and at the same time. Really? He gave me some brief examples. However, he did say that everything that happened abruptly ceased all at once. Agents have been scrambling to cover it up and getting everyone amnesticized. Oh, wow, that's... What does that have to do with you, then? He said we're responsible for this. We're not. The effects of 7156 are local. What do you mean? Apparently not, according to him. We tested it before. Everything that happened occurred within this immediate area in the cell. Are you sure this isn't a crazy coincidence? Each of the events he relayed to me have displayed similar levels of aspect radiation, Julia. They're all the same, each one of them. Just like the events here. All from this cube. And everyone still remembers, Julia. They still remember. Are you serious? Yes. Like, actually serious? Yes, Julia. This has been confirmed. Everything you said to me, all of this is true? Screams, yes. We're so fucking terminated.
Nice.
That's it.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun one. Just all the random shit that happens. You know, good that it reverts itself. But yeah, that was a fun. That one, I'm surprised that wasn't a joke SCP.
Yeah.
But it's technically in the regular catalog.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All
That's
right.
my one.
I've
my
got
main
one
stupid
more lighthearted one before we get into spookier stuff.
All right.
All right. So this is SCP 5338. Containment
right.
class, Keter. Secondary class,
Keter.
Consentia. Description class, Dark. Risk class, Notice. Special containment procedures. Containment of SCP-5338 is limited to minimizing public awareness of its anomalous abilities. Due to the vital role SCP-5338 plays in many ecosystems, physical containment would be detrimental to the sustainability of life on Earth and should not be attempted. Foundation affiliates
Oh yeah, it's real serious.
the academic community are to maintain the scientific paradigm that SCP-5338 achieved through non-anomalous aerodynamic mechanisms. Fabricated data and multimedia records will continue to be produced indefinitely to reinforce mainstream awareness of this paradigm. Those who publicly challenge the paradigm are to be discredited and derided via academic publications, entertainment outlets, social media platforms, and other sundry
Your
venues
campaign.
of public mockery. Yes.
Yeah.
Description. SCP is the 5338 is the collective designation for all apian species of the genus Bombus. SCP-5338 are physiologically incapable of generating the airflow vertices necessary to establish and maintain natural aerodynamic lift. Instead, SCP-5338 achieve flight through using their wings to rapidly create complex sequences of spatially destructive kinetoglyphs. To introduce...
bee?
Yeah, it's the bumblebee, yeah. Bumblebees are...
And this is a serious one.
This is an actual SCP, yes.
Okay.
In the SCP universe, bumblebees are an
Like
SCP.
a Keter class thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And not like a
if
special...
it's gonna go to the Bee movie script, just
yeah.
just let me know now.
And not just like a type of bumblebee. No, just bumblebees. Regular bumblebees.
Right.
Yeah. to induce anomalous midair suspension. The
Oh,
anomalous
hey, it's Jerry
nature of
Seinfeld.
SCP-5338 came to the Foundation's attention in the late 18th century with the discovery of several David parabiology compendiums, allowing for an early establishment of misinformational containment that has continued to develop concurrently with mainstream entomology up to the present day.
I made a show about nothing. I'm Jerry Seinfeld. It's a good show, though.
Yeah.
It's about nothing, ultimately.
Yeah. SCP-5338 N is the designation for the parakinetic movements used by SCP-5338 and for the theoretical language that said movements may compose. The existence of a linguistic structure in SCP-5338 Kintoglyph sequences was first proposed in 1973 as a reaction to the landmark ethological study on dance-based communication between honeybees. Extensive interdisciplinary research was subsequently undertaken to analyze the movement patterns observed in SCP-5338-N for similar applications of dyadic sign models. Current evidence supports that the existence of a somatic sign system concordant with theoretical linguistic framework and the recurrence of discrete movements in response to particular conditions has allowed researchers to establish preliminary lexicon. So basically, they use they spell out magic glyphs with their wings, and that's what makes them fly.
That's great. But side little tangent here. We talked about the morning oddities a little bit. The Oscars are going on right now while we're recording this.
Yeah.
I'll watch the highlights and whatever. But apparently Cillian Murphy won Best Actor. No surprise there for Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan won Best Director, and Oppenheimer won Best Picture. It swept.
Of course.
That's pretty much what I predicted.
Yeah, that's what
It's
everyone
good.
thought would
Oppenheimer is probably Christopher Nolan's like peak movie.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it yet, it's on Peacock.
Nice.
Anyways.
Where was I? However,
Sorry.
efforts to infer
Just breaking news here.
Yeah. Efforts to infer a coherent syntactic structure have been unsuccessful, and the legitimacy of SCP-5338-N as a language remains contested. Similarly, there has been no consensus as to whether SCP-5338-N is a discrete thaumaturgic constant which existed prior to and or apart from SCP-5338, or if it was a direct byproduct of SCP-5338's evolutionary development.
So its wing patterns?
Its wing patterns spell out magic glyphs.
It's a language. It's it's magic.
Yeah. They use magic to fly, basically.
Right. That's the only
their wing movements spell out magic glyphs, and the magic glyphs make them fly. Yes.
So bees are sorcerers.
Bumblebees specifically.
Bumblebees, yeah.
Yeah. SCP-5338-N is reproducible by human beings, albeit with sustainably diminished effects due to the physical limitations of the human body and the limited understanding of context-sensitive Kintoglyph sequences. Attempts to replicate SCP-5338-N with mechanical devices have only produced negligible reductions in gravitational subordination. Amendum. On June 1st, 1981, the O3 Court approved testing of SCP-5338-N by human subjects to assess its potential utilization by mobile task force units. Results given below. Test number 1. Dr. Wall used her arms, palms, and fingers to simulate the approximate 5338-N sequence for indoor takeoff. As a safety precaution, all movements were performed at 1 3,750th the normal gesture speed. No anomalous activity.
Yeah, because we can't move our arms as fast as a bee's wings. Yeah.
Test number 2. Subject was shown a sped up playback of video footage from the previous experiment, one 1,750th normal gesture speed, and told to memorize the movements over the course of a week. Subject attempted to perform 5338-N at the conclusion of the training period. Results: shortly after the beginning, the subject appeared flushed and complained of several headaches accompanied by dizziness. 1 minute 41 seconds into the test, subject said they were no longer able to perform the experiment, lay down on the testing room floor, and briefly lost consciousness. Cause of syncope was determined to be rapid reduction of blood reflux to the heart due to forceful redirection of blood to the head from the venous system, exacerbated by an increase in intracranial pressure. Subject received immediate medical care and made a full recovery. Test number 3, same as previous experiment, but with a study period increased to 3 months. Subject performed 5338N at 1,750th normal gesture speed for 5 minutes with no adverse effects. Instruments indicate the subject's body weight dropped approximately 14 kilograms for the duration of the test, despite maintaining mass. And last one, test number 4, subject instructed to continue practicing gesture speed for additional 3 months, followed by an attempt at 1/400th speed. Footage of test 1 accelerated to the approximate speed was provided for study. Results: within seconds of attempting 5338-N at 1/400th speed, a burst of blood was observed from the crown of the subject's head, and they immediately collapsed. Medical staff present for the experiment quickly determined the subject had died instantaneously. High-speed playback of the test footage revealed that the subject's spinal column had been vertically ejected from their body at a speed exceeding Mach 5. The spinal column proceeded to travel through the roof of the testing chamber and was presumed to have disintegrated upon reaching the Earth's atmosphere. Several days later, a complete human spine was found in the park 2 counties away, with its coccyx embedded in the trunk of a tree. Analysis confirmed it to be a match. A second spine was recovered from a private flower garden the following week. The remains were covered in pollen from local flora and were identical to
Wait, is everyone trying this now? The pattern?
They're trying to replicate it, yeah. The remains were covered in pollen and were identical to the previous spine in shape and genetic composition. Testing suspended until further notice.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm no physicist, and I know it's the joke in the B movie, and I haven't really done research on it recently, like how the physics of bees' wings works, and I know they're largely, it's still a contingent issue. I've always just thought of like little helicopters. I don't know, like like a hummingbird. It flies, it hovers, rapidly flapping its wings. I mean, that's always how I saw it with bees. I don't know, but it is a freak of nature, like how that
According
works.
to in the SCP universe, they use magic.
They use magic, and that would be a decent explanation. Yeah,
they
use
magic.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, this next one's a fun one. Well, buckle your seatbelts because this next one's a decently long one.
Okay.
It's also one, for all you listening and for Colton, it required me to not only open other links, but go into my what do you call it? The source code of the website and like highlight and copy and paste and just hope that I'm not getting a virus. It's not, but it's one of those like meta, like you're the researcher SCPs, like you're
Oh yeah.
figuring it out. Like you have to find the clues. I even had to go to Google Translate for part of it.
Damn.
So this is SCP-2718. And if you go to the page, feel free. But if you go to the page, the numbers are constantly changing on the SCP. There's nothing in the object class, and there's multiple text saying catastrophic abort, handle not found, etc. Shut off your monitor now. Scary stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's got over 1,765 ratings, upvotes. And I've heard this one before, and I specifically heard this one, and he does a way better job than I'm gonna do. On the Exploring series
Yeah.
podcast or YouTube channel. I haven't listened to him in a while. I need to get back into his stuff. But he does all kinds of stuff, but he does a lot of SCP stuff now. And I see why, because there's endless content there. So people are making it for you. Anyways, he's good at it. I'm not like trying to discredit him or like say he's lazy or whatever. Because he does like a lot of other stuff too. But
Yeah.
anyways,
He
that's
does
where I
good
first
stuff,
heard
yeah.
it. Oh yeah. Well, I remember I first got into like Lovecraft because of him, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew of and I've read some stories, but like I really got into the whole like Cthulhu mythos and everything after watching his videos.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and then we did our Lovecraft episode. Um, we did a couple Lovecraft episodes. We need to dip our toes back in that again.
Yeah.
Anyways, buckle your seatbelts for this one.
Buckling.
Get your drink ready. Take a swig. Take a drink. I'm gonna take a drink.
Yeah. Good time. Drink your drink.
And yeah, this is existential category SCP. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's one of those. But don't take it too seriously. It's all fiction. Anyways, or is it? Anyways. SCP-2718. And like I said, if you go to the site, numbers are changing. It's hard to read. SCP-2718 is a Damarung class cognito hazard. One best special effects.
Who did what?
Godzilla won best special effects at
fuck
the
yeah.
Academy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which,
a small
like
director
I said,
that winning is great.
I don't care about the Academy, but that's Godzilla's first win ever.
Yeah. The Academy's weird.
So
Like
pretty big
I
deal.
say I don't care, but then the Oscars
Once-
roll around, and then I find myself kind of caring a little bit.
Well, especially when things get recognition that deserve it. Deserve the recognition.
I think it's
And
more
yeah,
like
Oppenheimer
I get
swept.
excited about film stuff. And I think the Academy is a bunch of old fucks who don't always know what they're talking about, but
Right.
they're a bunch of just elite pricks.
But they just had to, because in a year of like really bad, bad takes for like the MCU and stuff. I mean, yeah, Guardians
Mhm.
3 was good, but that was like the only go. But then Godzilla -1, less than $15 million budget,
Yeah, it's insane what they were able to do with
makes
that
$200
movie.
million movies look like trash because
Yeah.
it had love and care put into
Yeah.
it, and they weren't rushed. And
We need
great stuff.
executives to realize that simply just dumping a bunch of money into a movie doesn't make it good. It's actually getting people who
Yeah.
give a shit about the movie. That's what makes it good.
Anyways, we're back here. We had to take a little break, but for you listeners, it was seamless.
It was seamless.
Right?
Yeah, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Something like that.
And
But either
maybe
way,
I'll
you
put a
didn't
little
have-
transition in there. I don't know.
You didn't have to wait 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all good. Like, I'm not like anyways, let's get into my crazy existential SCP.
Yes.
I'm gonna start us over here. SCP-2718. SCP-2718, and like I said, the numbers are changing on my screen, but I'm just gonna read it that way, is a Damarung or Damarung class cognitohazard.
Mm.
And what a cognitohazard means in SCP universe is as soon as you read it, as soon as you know about the SCP, you're fucked.
It's an info hazard.
Yeah, it's an info hazard.
It's just their word for it. Yeah.
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 All personnel, regardless
That's
of
cool
clearance.
because I have some info hazard as SCPs picked out too.
Cool.
So I guess we do have a little bit of a theme.
Info hazard, yeah.
Yeah.
The mimetic ones, yeah. All personnel, regardless of clearance, are forbidden to expose themselves to the description of this article under any circumstances. Do not tamper with this warning without Damarung clearance. Do not discuss the existence of this article with any person. Well, I'm about to do that.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to do that with the audience here. Anyways, no disciplinary action will be necessary provided you close this article now and clear your browser cache. I'm not going to do that. Atypical software measures have been used to mitigate the risk of accidental exposure. It is only by an unfortunate coincidence of extremely low probability that you have stumbled across this entry at all. No disciplinary action will be necessary provided you close this article now and clear your browser cache. Since creation, only the special containment procedures section of this record has been editable. Due to the clearance of the file's original author and anomalous database limitations in effect, this record can neither be deleted nor effectively redacted. Access restrictions cannot be applied to the data in any reliable way. Of course, access restrictions can still be enforced. It is now too late to close this article. Uh-oh. Do not discuss the existence of this article with any person. Notify the help desk that your workstation has a Damarung contamination. Shut off your monitor and seek immediate amnestic treatment. Well, I have some amnestic treatment right here, if you know what I mean. The following conditions shall constitute a breach. Exposure to any part of the description, however briefly. Failure to close this article within 18 seconds of exposure without code word clearance. Shut off your monitor now. Notify the breach desk that you and your workstation have Damarung contamination. Await MTF processing. And then there's link here, Damarung eyes only.
See, they didn't anticipate for this to be shared over a podcast.
A podcast, right?
Yeah.
Even a lowly podcast like ours, it's still being shared. Agent instructions. The breach to which you are responding has already been mostly contained by an automated system, and containment will complete when you restart this terminal. However, your orders are to attempt to improve the current containment procedures by any means possible within the time allotted to you. You have been temporarily granted administrative network access from this terminal. Use any resources you deem necessary to fulfill your mission, but do not expose yourself to the cognitohazard in the description. The following technical details will help you in your task. And it essentially goes through different things that you should do to avoid getting the cognitohazard. I'm not going to read through all that because that's just kind of boring jargon, but there's a link down here. Well, it's not necessarily a link, but there's a extremely long URL here. And I've copied and pasted it into my next tab. And thank God it's a black screen, which makes it really spooky on my end. But easy on the eyes.
All I see on your video is just you.
Just
illuminated a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So now we get to the real meat and potatoes, the actual SCP here. There's some cool pixel art. Well, I say cool. I'll definitely post it. I may not be alive to tell the tale by that time, but according to this, uh, yeah, the mobile task force is right outside my window. Anyways, I'm gonna read this anyways. Um, SCP-2718. What happens after? What do you think this could be about? What happens after?
About the afterlife.
Huh.
Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
What happens after death? That's essentially what. There's an original version. There's some other links I could click on, but I don't think they'll probably lead to. Oh yeah, there's audio adaptations. That's cool. I would recommend just listen to listen to us, but if you're tired of us, listen to Exploring Series. He did a episode on this.
Nice.
Anyways, there's some stuff here that I could probably try to decipher at the time, but I'm just gonna go through and read what I can. Object class, catastrophic abort, special containment procedures, SCP redacted. SCP redacted is a dammering, so it goes through the what I just read previously.
Mhm.
Scrolling down, go. Yeah, we got that text that I read previously. End of authorization key block. You're a subject to summary termination by Trinonite class mimetic if you proceed past this point. So basically means as soon as I read this, I'm gonna die from reading it. It's yeah, one of those crazy memes, man. Anyways, it's like Skibidi Toilet, but worse. Gen Alpha. What the fuck is going on with Gen Alpha? Anyways,
What?
and Gen Z. Are we technically Gen Z? I hate
We're
that number.
technically Gen Z, but like
We're like on the cusp
I was born
of
in
millennial and Gen Z.
90s. It's the generation gap that there's always in between every
Yeah.
generation where it's like
That's what we are.
I was born in 97, which is by most standards is technically the start of Gen Z.
Yeah.
Millennial usually goes up to like 95, 96.
What?
But it's like I I only have some stuff in common with Gen Z and I have some stuff in
Yeah.
common with millennials and I'm not
Yeah,
not
we just don't quite
completely
fit in.
either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in between.
Anyways, here we go. Editor's note. I had to throw that kill sprite together in a hurry. The one constructed and installed by my predecessor was clearly defective. Instead of the donkey kick I expected from a standard inoculation interdiction, I barely registered minor eye strain. Of course, under the circumstances, I suppose we're limited, aren't we? To a contaminated workstation and barely adequate tools, anyway. If you survive that mimetic, I have, we're alive. Hopefully, it's because you have a code word clearance, and not because I didn't get it right either. In that case, you're probably boned pretty bad, and I apologize for not killing you in time. So
Damn.
killing me is better than me continuing to read this. But I'm going to. Content, but cut me some slack. When we looked them up 90 minutes ago, the only procedures for this code word read randomly select one mainframe qualified coder from the experimental containment research group with level 3 clearance, supplied to designee with behemoth class amnestic, and dispatch them to the affected terminal. They will find instructions there. If they fail to complete their task within 2 hours, or if upon return they can remember the year or the name of the current U.S. president, terminate. Some people can't get the current U.S. president right now, right? Am I right? Sorry, I don't want to get political here. Guess what? That's a pretty small subset of personnel to choose randomly from. Well, Spock smashes scissors, but paper disproves Spock. So now, in return for containment duty, I get to blow a sizable chunk of my life out of my skull. At least I won't have to remember them processing the looky-loo who caused this breach. Assuming you're ECRG like me, you never heard of Damarung before today either. I haven't. Here's what I can tell you. From the look at the source code and contents, oh yeah, if you look into the source code, there's more stuff you can find, but
Nice.
you know. You're probably the fourth or the fifth to respond to this thing since inception. I made a couple of minor edits to the documentation above. Mostly spent my time trying to slow the algorithm with the worst patterns I could think of. In the end, I was only able to de-optimize the existing recursion by a factor of 2. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about the underlying hardware or how often users follow unfamiliar links to the main list to guess how much difference that makes. I'm sure on first implementation, they thought they had 5, maybe 10 years between breaches. But I know for a fact that they've introduced at least one quantum processor to the grid, which will depreciate this approach faster than they can say redacted. Hopefully, you've got a better idea of a slower algo than I, or at least 3 did. Maybe upgrade to the quantum bogosaur of article numbers. On this hardware, that might technically be XK algorithm and therefore forbidden. I don't know. I've used up most of my time already, and I can't risk another recompile in a few minutes remaining before I have to commit these changes. Wash down the stick of dynamite with warm, backwatchy Mountain Dew. Andrew's out. P.S. I guess I got to thinking my brain was hosed either way, so what the hell? And I don't know why I just went ahead and did it. Couldn't help myself really. Resist the urge. It's clearly a fridge class cognito hazard, and already it's starting to sink in, so this horse pill better work quick. Description. So this next batch of text here is all supposed to be an audio file. So I'm
Okay.
gonna do the best of my ability to emulate it, being an audio file.
Okay.
And I'm sure we got the spooky music going, so that will help. And I could turn my gain up. No, I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do my best to make this fun for you guys and for myself. There you go, ma'am. This interpreter is new technology, but it will allow you to forgo the use of a keyboard for article creation. Just speak naturally into the microphone. We can go back and revise any errors after you have finished. I don't think so, young man. There won't be time. This must be also a permanent record. Access restricted to L3s and up. Can you prevent anyone from tampering with this entry later? Anyone, ma'am? Anyone and everyone. You understand me? If there is ever but one article left in the database, this had better be it. Well, I'm not senior enough to select the most appropriate technique to accomplish that. Maybe if we got Gephardt involved. I want you to make an executive decision. I'm confident in your ability. We cannot delay. Okay. There is a mechanism I could take advantage of. It's actually designed to protect against anomalous data corruption, but it would have the effect you're looking for. If you're certain, ma'am, I can make this section of the article write once and splice it into the database runtime. However, that means no editing whatsoever will be possible. If you misspeak, you'll have to clarify and keep going. Very well, do so. Fortunately, I'm a world-class dictator.
Yeah.
For the degree of security you have in mind, ma'am, I'll need to borrow your credential token. Thank you. One moment, please. I'm not going to actually type in my keyboard, but there's supposed to be keyboard sounds here. There, that's done it. Here, I could just type in a random... my mic's not long enough. Anyways, there, that's done it. You've been very helpful. That will be all. For your own safety, I'm ordering you to obtain amnestic treatment as soon as possible. Enough to forget this entire morning. Do you understand? I do. Good. You will likely be subjected to enhanced interrogation within a day or two. It will go easy for you if you have no memory of this. Oh boy. As a literal token of my gratitude for your loyalty, why don't you hold on to those credentials? I won't be needing them if you act quickly. I suspect you can think of a way to put them into good use before they are revoked. and you are detained. Yes, ma'am. Now go. I foresee that you have a fine career ahead of you. We will not speak again. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye. Door opening, door closing, extended sigh. Here we go. This is the real deal here.
Okay.
My name is Miriam Crampher. I have been 05-7 for 77 years. So I could speak like an old crone, but I'm not going to do it. I will remain so for perhaps 7 minutes or more. And that is not enough time to devise adequate special containment procedures myself. I leave that to you. Over the course of my tenure, I have witnessed 19 distinct anomalous methods to restore life. The devices and entities responsible take vastly different forms. But when you look past the science, the magic, the razzle-dazzle, there are fundamentally two broad but simple categories. The first type is replication, where it be a clone, simulacrum, or other copy is made of the subject's mind body as it existed at some point during life. The second sort is temporal. With this approach, the space-time paths of the subject's constituent particles are reversed, and events literally undone, until the subject is restored to a functional state. These two categories have a crucial commonality. The restored individual has no memory or experience of death. To put it another way, despite 2.4 million years of hominid speculation, Foundation records contain no reliable first-hand testimony regarding what happens to us after we die. We have other sources of information, naturally, but in light of recent events, I believe that the SCPs we have interrogated on this topic over the years are guilty of either ignorance or deceit. For you see, we invented an exception. 6 months ago, we resurrected Roger Sheldon, formerly 0511. And I'm not talking about young Sheldon. Pretty good show, though. Young Sheldon.
Yeah. I haven't watched it.
It's fun. I like it more in Big Bang Theory.
Nice.
Anyways, back to this horrible thing. The theoretical groundwork has existed for some time, but for a litany of reasons, the complexity of the process, the technical skill required, the systemic risk, not to mention enormous cost, only direct need justified the attempt. Only duress need justified the attempt. At 73, Roger was the youngest overseer when he died, so they're all old. Okay. He had two habits that were much like the U.S. Like the president, right? 80. Anyways, they're all old.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me restart there. No more jokes. I'm gonna just read through this because it's long.
Okay.
At 73, Roger was the youngest overseer when he died. He had two habits that were peculiar for an 05. Only marginally tolerated. And by the way, just to clarify, the 05 is like the top council of the SCP Foundation.
Yeah.
They know the most. They have the highest clearance. They're in charge of everything. Essentially. So the first was an obstinate refusal to fortify, as we call it, to enhance his longevity with the supplements available to those of our station. The second was a penchant for taking his holidays unannounced and in utter solitude. When a stroke ended him 18 years ago, he was perched on a rocky promontory above marine iguana nesting grounds on Espanola Island.
Okay.
This is actually pretty good beer, by the way. It's not too hoppy.
Nice.
It took 14 years to find his remains. We would not have gone on looking for so long, but for two reasons. He kept on his person a certain key, which I shall not say more, except that it could not be allowed to stay lost. Damn, he forgot to turn his key in. And that he had held in his brain a secret word, without which we could not replace him. So he had a secret word that they needed and the key. So they had to find his body. And I guess they just had to resurrect him to get that word.
Damn.
The alter and they use SCPs to do this stuff.
Imagine
They can do that.
imagine quitting your job. Getting fired or quitting your job, and then you retire, move to a beach,
And
die, and then they resurrect you and go, you forgot to turn in your key.
Damn, yeah. Anyways. The alternating Galapagos rains and bright sun, perhaps hawks, had reduced him to a moldering ruin of bone fragments and only the stubbornest sinew. So he's just, I mean, there's barely any remains there, right? The recovery crew used brooms and bags to collect as much of him as remained. The artifact was retrieved to our relief, but we were still faced with the daunting task of extracting his shibboleth. With so little original material to work with, none of the time-tested methods of recovery were feasible. It distresses me to say so, but it is unlikely that any records of our methodology will survive the impending purge. Suffice to say that having gathered his diaspora, we set out to reconstruct the quantum approximation of him, physically, chemically, electrically, with sufficient accuracy that his heart would resume its beat. His synapses would fire and his mouth would move, if briefly. By the way, that quantum computers, terrifying.
Oh yeah.
People think like the AI we're dealing with right now is terrifying. Get ready for quantum computers and AI.
Oh geez.
That's
yeah,
when
yeah.
Anyways, as we required but one iota of information from him, we hoped at best that he would survive long enough to provide it, and then simply expire again. However, as is so often the case, we outdid ourselves. All the king's horses and all the king's men could indeed put him back together again. Roger was perfectly reanimated. He emerged from his cocoon looking a bit younger and healthier than my last memories of him. He sobbed uncontrollably for some time. Unresponsive to any stimulus, yet after half an hour he relaxed, his expression suddenly turned utter serenity, and he spoke two unintelligible, but clearly joyous words. He was swiftly interrogated, but he responded to our questioning with candor, enthusiasm, and unmistakable relief. We kept him under quarantine in a containment unit for 30 days. He offered no objection and cooperated completely. He behaved as any of us might under the circumstances, and in the end, after some light debate, we unanimously restored him to the office. We were the ones who remade him after all, and wouldn't each of us expect the same? He rewarded our hubris by resuming his duties with an inspired vigor, consistently displaying deeper insight and wisdom than ever before. So, just a quick recap. They managed to bring him back to life as a normal person, right?
Yeah.
Healthier than ever. He was really sad at first, distraught, but then he was joyous, ready to get back to work. He would do anything they needed him to do.
Yeah.
Wonder why. Someone's screaming outside. That's a little spooky. I live in the city, so there's a lot of crazy shit. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a junkie outside.
Probably.
SCPs and junkies. What's scarier?
Yeah, there's some SCP. Yeah. I don't know if it's SCP out there, but it's definitely some. Anyways, in particular, we welcomed some of the changes to his habits. As soon as the rest of us allowed it, he began regular fortification treatments for the first time. He appointed a sensible entourage of medical staff and bodyguards that were never far from his person. Previously, empathy for his fellow man had never been his strong suit, Yet suddenly he displayed renewed interest in the safety of our containment protocols, the healthcare benefits of Foundation employees, and a profound distaste for the sacrifice of D-Class. Under the circumstances, none of this struck us as particularly alarming behavior. But it should have.
Mm.
He had concealed the crux of it from us all, you see. At first, naturally, in our initial interrogation, we'd ask him if he had any experience or memory of the afterlife. He claimed to recall nothing, exactly as everyone always does, and defeated our polygraphs completely. Drinking sounds. I think that's the cue.
Oh. Oh, oh.
I
No, no, no.
mean,
What it
that's
sounds
part
like.
of the story.
Yeah.
I need a drink. Yeah. He approached me first, about 2 months ago. He asked if, in his absence, we'd obtain any pieces, which I shouldn't have to point out is not our term of art, capable of sustaining life indefinitely. While breathtaking longevity is now within our power, it may surprise you to learn that immortality is not. Our best theoreticians have recently posited that it will never be attainable. So basically, they figured out how to live a long, long time through different means, using SCPs, the best medical, all that kind of stuff. But immortality is not possible. The resurrections we can accomplish, even his, cannot be repeated more than once or twice. Sapient life is necessarily intertwined with quantum uncertainty. Localize a particle with perfect precision, and it attains infinitely uncertain momentum, loss in an instant. Just so, the longer and the more tightly a conscious is bound to a specific vessel, the more likely it will scatter irretrievably on its own. Regardless of science, magic, or a little bit of razzle-dazzle, you, your children, your great-great-grandchildren will one day most assuredly die and stay dead. His disappointment at this theorem was palpable, and I experienced a moment of discomfort at this reaction. Not a week later, 05-2 received word of a severe breach of protocol. Roger, or rather 05-11, had initiated direct contact with an ape in containment. And that's not like the monkey, it's an APE. For you L3s,
Oh, what?
APE skips are apex tier pluripotent entities. I can imagine you can work out the euphemism. We kept our initial investigation off the books. He'd been clever in covering his tracks. There was no breach alarm, no record of encounter in any log. But one of the skips guards failed a random amnestic test, to his dismay, and that was to trail enough to which set our bloodhounds. We couldn't prove it, but we imagined he risked exposure to skip to offer some kind of deal. This could not stand, as two of his oldest comrades, today 05-2, and I confronted him privately. But he caught us off guard. He confessed everything and begged for us to help. I surreptitiously, yeah, that's a big word. Surreptitiously recorded his pleas as a precaution. It is easiest if I simply replay it for you now. Device clicks. So now we're going into the perspective of Roger of 05-2 here. I dare not speak of this at first. You never have let me out of containment. The truth is, I was aware of all of it. I suppose there was a sweet oblivion, like a deep sleep at first. But in retrospect, I think it was no more than a day. Slowly, but unmistakably, I reoccupied my corpse with dreamlike consciousness. Numb for the first merciful hours, blind, deaf, and immobile, but ever was in life. Then I seemed to reconnect to every nerve, became aware of every sensation, more so than I ever was in life. Sorry, I mixed that up. I perceived myself trapped within an immovable object, and the intensity of the struggle amplified. Subtle, then acute, then racking. I cannot describe it completely, but imagine holding your breath beyond the urge, beyond pain, beyond desperation, head throbbing and eyes bulging, a dream of suffocation without end. My skin blistered and split in sunlight. Biting insects descended rapidly. I felt eggs hatch, larvae crawl, gases build and burst within me, individual cells rupturing, interstitial fluids soaring and blackening. Somehow my capacity to experience and store these sensations grew, even as I was keenly aware of my cerebrum being scattered and devoured. My perception expanded into the gizzards of the birds and the depths of fire ant dens. I was aware of every fingernail and strand of hair that pulled away in the wind. And my sensation clung to them as they settled into the ocean and dissolved in the maws of trillion diatoms. I don't understand it. The more bits of me there were, the larger my capacity for the perception of pain. As I decayed into pieces smaller than living nerves could possibly distinguish, the character of the discomfort changed. From burning and aching and breaking, I might relate to you in human terms, to something worse I cannot fully articulate. A terrible, maddening stretching of every part of myself from every other part. Humans often numb to chronic pains in life, do they not? Yet every year, every month, every second that passed, I swear it only intensified over time. In my previous life, I ruminated on heaven and hell, and the likelihood of my experiencing one, the other, or something in between. As terrible as I imagined the torpor of heaven or the torments of hell to be, this was entirely different from either. In hell, at least, there would be surely a tormentor, some memory of my deeds, some sense of justice, even if my soul rejected its logic. I can imagine some comfort in hell for a mind such as mine. I do not think this is a punishment. I do not think it is caused. I deeply suspect it is simply our condition, our nature to go on this way, do you see? And all that time, I was certainly, absolutely, totally alone. Before long, all memory of life had shriveled to a cinder, lost beneath my indeterminable anguish. Alive again, I suspect I cannot quite recall the worst of it, as if my living brain was too small for the experience. As overseers, we witness, inflict, or endure great suffering, yet what awaits us all is worse. The way an earache is worse than a bee sting. The way frostbite is worse than a burn. I was dead for 18 years, and my misery eludes description. Dare we try to fathom the collective agony of legions of ancient dead? Believe this, I will not return to that insatiable existence. Not 100 years from now, not ever. Yes, I approached Araman for help. I'm sure he could extend us all if he wished. I offered him great concessions from the Foundation, even perhaps release, but he laughed and refused. Yet I cannot think of others willing to trade on to a smaller scale. Though the price may be nearly as no. Nothing compares. Anything is better, so long as it is forever. Do you believe me? Will you join me and together escape this fate, please? Device clicks. So just to sum up what he told us there. Basically, from his experience, when you die, you eventually come back into some sort of consciousness, but you're in a dead body. And his situation, dying on, on the island there, getting
Yeah.
eaten up by bugs,
And you can feel
burned
everything.
away from the sun. You feel everything, and it gets worse and worse. Every atom, every cell, and you feel everything. And
Mhm.
so I guess it would be good to, die and be bit, but even that would be bad. Anyways, um, yeah, really bad. So apparently that's what happens after you die. Anyways, we were dumbfounded and suddenly sympathetic. And an instant later, fearful. I can't remember the last time I felt my heart race so. But we do not operate in a vacuum. A revelation of this magnitude must be brought before the council for consideration. He was loath to admit his deception before he assembled council, but he was clearly desperate for action as well. We prevailed upon him to call an immediate emergency session and teleconference. I knew anything less would constitute treachery. Still, the three of us were hurried to conference room Alpha, and I suddenly found myself harboring subtle thoughts of throat clearing. And so he gave his testimony again, nearly as frank and purply prosaic as before. But the debate that unfolded in the wake of it, I have never witnessed anything like it. They were mostly skeptical voices at first, calm, concerned, and thoughtful. However, 05-8, whose face had grown increasingly pale as she listened to him, was suddenly a passionate advocate for action. We must declare human death a Keter SCP, she demanded, and contain it at any cost. That absurdity garnered an uproar, of course, but Roger had himself surely an ally now, and this spurred him on, shouting over the others to add even darker details to the intensity of his perennial excruciation. Imagery I cannot repeat, sensations I must not contemplate. I'm feeling lightheaded. 05-2, always a moderate influence, suggested we recess and collect ourselves. But then -3 suddenly moved that we order the immediate systemic termination of dangerous skips to better protect ourselves and others. -6 seconded before it could be put to a vote. -13 suddenly clutched his chest in panic and was being evaluated by his medical technician when his feed abruptly cut out. As it all came to boil, it was -10, I think. He was next convinced. Oh, is belief the key? I. It doesn't matter. At any rate, -10 started pounding his shoe on the table and hollering that we must dig a channel from the Astrakhan Spring to the Mediterranean Sea to fortify all of mankind. That was enough. Suddenly, -5-1 muted us all, stood red-faced and shaking. Regardless of the truth of 05-11's experience, she said, it is plain that we have all lost reason. There is only one possible explanation for this. Therefore, I'm declaring Emergency Protocol 17. Remain where you are. We shall all be administered Class A amnestics, except you, Roger. We made a grave error releasing you from containment, and it will be corrected. She pointed at her administrative assistant to act, but before he could lock down the conference room from which -211 and I were dialed in, Roger had already bolted out the door. I was after him in an instant, and nearly crushed by the bulkhead as it slammed into place. I only wanted to stop him, I think, and now I was outside of the safe room too. He was already out of sight. Superlative idiot. They couldn't see me, couldn't hear me, they couldn't know I wanted back in. how badly I wanted to breathe the red gas that was surely already streaming in the room on the other side. One instant of poor judgment and my fate is sealed. And now I know what's in store. What was left to do? I ran to the help desk. Of course. Go to the help desk. Help enough, eh? For this, my final act, I love the Foundation as I would have loved a daughter. I do this for the security and the protection of mankind. And so I beg of you, this Gnosis must not be erased, forgotten. That is not containment, that is madness. Bring us back, get us out. I'm so frightened. What's wrong with me? Clear, 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 goddamn this job. Bag that Oscar quickly, Sergeant. We still have one to go. What now, Specialist? Talk to me. Sir, I'm getting a report of a Keter breach in AR-2 compound. Oh, hell, it's 2 rogue Oscars. And on top of it now, the old man is on the loose. The old man's another SCP that, like, melts through stuff and, like, ages you super fast.
Oh, yeah.
This is a shit sandwich, sir. Contain that chatter, Sergeant. So the MTF came in and everything. Stand by, sir. Negative on 106 escaping, sir. I'm getting details. Say again, please. It's the other way around. The other Oscar, he went... Sir, he went in. The hell he did. They have visual confirmation, sir. Procedures dictate we treat him. As KIA specialist, I know. Let's finish here, then. Sir, this Oscar has recording equipment here. It's still running. For the love of... Shut it down, Sergeant. Shut it down now. Specialists get into an audio hazard team down here on the double. End of recording. Down at the bottom here. I believe this is some Russian text. It looks Russian. Or no, it's Greek. I put it into Google Translate.
Mm-hmm.
This is the final text here. Roger, you have been honored. I will bless you in heaven. And they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one.
That's cool.
That one's, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool, like, it's fucked up though. The SCP is death itself. What happens after?
Yeah.
And if everyone knows about it, chaos ensues. No one knows about it. Well, either way, everyone's gonna have that same the same result there, according to that. But yeah, that's honestly one of my favorites because it's
That's a
just
good one.
you know, just a something, just a thought experiment we've all thought of, the afterlife, all that, and that's like one of the most horrible outcomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's definitely
Nice.
I like how that one's put together. And there's some other stuff I could probably find here, but we probably have room for one more. Let's
Yeah, we got to
do
call it
yours.
pretty soon. Let's see here. I got a couple to choose from. Let's go with
It was a good one to end on.
this one. It's another cognito hazard one.
All right.
This is SCP-2316. By order of the Overseer Council, the following file describes a Keter class anomalous cognito hazard and is level 4-4/2316 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. Keter class, disruption class, Kennick, and risk class danger. And then this is cool on the page. You only see it if you highlight part of the page, but it says they've been waiting for a long time.
Oh yeah. And what number is this one? Or what?
2316.
2316.
Yes. The following file contains images and text that are carriers for anomalous cognitohazard influences. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Due to this, it is imperative that
That was
all
ominous.
yeah, it is imperative that all personnel accessing this file be certified as having a cognitive resistance value CRV of no less than 14.5. Should you fail an automated CRV verification, please remain calm and do not move. A member of your site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. Run adjusted tonal variance processor. Verification complete. User CRV is within acceptable limits. Special containment procedures. Under no circumstances are for Foundation personnel to approach SCP-2316. Observation of SCP-2316 must only be carried out by remote dummy probes using video and audio recording equipment. Only those personnel adequately rated for exposure to cognitohazards anomalies may review footage and audio of SCP-2316. The lake in which 2316 is located has been quarantined and fenced off and is to be routinely patrolled by individuals who have not been exposed to 2316 and have no prior knowledge of its characteristics. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Individuals who attempt to bypass the enforced quarantine must be apprehended and moved to Site 33 for a full cognitive influence screening. Individuals who come within 50 meters of the lake containing 2316 are to be considered lost. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. Run adjusted tonal
Do not
variance
recognize bodies in water.
Run adjusted tonal variance processor. Verification complete. User CRV is within acceptable limits. Description. SCP-2316 is the designation for an anomalous phenomenon existing within Lake Redacted, within Redacted County, Redacted. SCP-2316 manifests as a group of human corpses, floating in a small group at the surface of the water. The identities of these corpses are cognitohazard removed, automated change unknown. Through DNA testing has been inconclusive. While SCP-2316 appears to be individual instances, it is theorized that 2316 may instead be an entity composed of a collective consciousness. Individual instances of 2316 do not act on their own, but seem to act collectively as a single unit. The individual instances of 2316 are unrecognizable, and you do not recognize the bodies in the water. 2316.
I do not recognize the body.
2316 hosts a powerful cognitohazard effect, causing those who have viewed 2316 are aware of certain parts of its nature or who were enrolled in the cognitohazard removed automated message invalid to believe that the individual instances of 2316 are human beings they recognize, typically from their childhood. Attempting to come into contact with 2316 instances by the way of entering Lake Redacted or touching an instance of 2316 will cause other instances of 2316 to appear. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. The additional instances only serve to reinforce and add to the strength of the cognitohazard, compelling affected individuals into the lake. Individuals who enter the lake in this way are lost, and to date none have been recovered. Amendum 2316.1 Interview. Data expunged. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Processing complete. Results displayed below. Verification incomplete. User CRV is not within acceptable limits. User CRV influenced by active cognitohazard. Please stay still. A member of site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Terminal lockout. And then at the very end, there's amendum 2316.2 invalid entry. But if you highlight the part of the page below it, it says with no spaces below. I think that's a cool one.
And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So if we could summarize,
It's a lake that
with
and bodies appear in the lake. And if you come into contact with the lake or have any knowledge about it, then you will be influenced into thinking that the bodies are people those of people you recognize, and you will be coaxed into the lake because of that. So the info hazard is the lake. It can get you if you know about it.
It gets you if you know about it, and the lake kills you because you see loved ones and whatever in there, and you like go in to help, and then you die also.
Yeah, and
like,
yeah.
And then if you know that, then you would do that. But if you don't know that, you want to do that. That's why you don't recognize the bodies in water. That's why you have to confirm that. Yeah, I think we have room for one more. I think maybe one more.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool one. I like
no, that is a cool one.
I like the repetition. I think it reads well.
Yeah, it adds to the horror of it and everything. Let's see.
Yeah, I do not recognize the bodies in the water. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Yeah,
I recognize the bodies in the water.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. This one might be a little too long. Let me check. It's a good one. That's why I kind of want to do it. It's not too long.
Cool.
Should be about. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long. Not any longer than any of our rants, you know.
Yeah.
And then we'll end it at this one. But It's always fun getting back to these SCPs and the spooky content. You know, maybe we'll get into cryptids again.
Yeah.
Creepypasta, you know, stuff like that.
I like doing spooky stuff. Yeah.
Spooky spaghetti. Yeah, that's Anyways, this one even has a higher rating than what comes after. It's a similar kind of big like existential type thing. Kind of. There's like a lot of audio logs and stuff that I'm gonna read through here, but they don't go on too long. But it's a cool one. That's a cool one. SCP 3001. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. To prevent further accidental entries into SCP-3001, all Foundation reality bending technology will be upgraded this one deals with reality bending and stuff like that. All Foundation reality bending technology and wormholes and like dimensions. Okay. will be upgraded / modified with multiple newly developed safeguards to prevent Class C broken entry wormhole creation. While knowledge of SCP-3001 is available to personnel of any level, should they wish to learn about it, research and experimentation with SCP-3001 and its associated technology is strictly limited to personnel of Level 3 and above, with special clearance designation granted from Sites 120, 121, 124, and 133. Description: SCP-3001 is a hypothesized paradoxical parallel / pocket non-dimension accessible through the creation of momentary Class C broken entry wormhole. While believed to be an infinitely extended parallel universe, SCP-3001 is almost completely devoid of any matter and has extremely low Hume level of 0.032, contradicting Cagel's laws of reality within the relation between humans and space-time. So basically in SCP, Hume level, if I'm not wrong, is like how reality bending it is.
Okay.
Or like how much it's basically, yeah, so like a Hume level of 1 would be standard reality,
Right.
I think. And then more than that would be more wacky, more reality bending. So incredibly low, a low Hume level would be below standard reality, whatever that means. But we're gonna get into that. Anyways, the phenomenon causes matter inside it to decay at an extremely low rate, and damage that would otherwise prove fatal does not impede any biological/electronic function. Simulations suggest an organism can lose more than 70% of their body's tissue and still operate normally, as long as at least 40% of the brain remains. So it's kind of similar to what comes after that. You can keep existing, even though if you lose most of your body tissue, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's different. However, prolonged exposure will cause said matter to gradually approach SCP-3001's own Hume level, resulting in severe tissue/structural damage as the matter's own Hume field begins to disintegrate. 3001 was initially discovered on January 2nd, 2000 at Site-120, a facility dedicated to testing and containing reality-bending technology. Dr. Robert Scranton and his wife, Dr. Anna Lang, were head researchers at Site-120 and were developing an experimental device called the Lang-Scranton Stabilizer. Dr. Scranton was transported to SCP-3001 after unexpected seismic activity damaged several active LSS in Site-120 Reality Lab A. Initially presumed dead, Dr. Scranton was survived in SCP-3001 for at least 5 years, 11 months, 21 days. During this time, he was able to record his experiences and observations within SCP-3001 through a somehow still functioning LSS control panel, which was also brought into SCP-3001 within through the Class C broken entry wormhole. These recordings were later recovered upon the panel's sudden basis of SCP-3001 study. Despite new technologies being developed, retrieval and reintegration of Dr. Scranton has been unsuccessful. His current physical and mental states, if he is still alive, are unknown. Transcripts of Dr. Scranton's logs are below. No discernible/coherent dialogue can be heard from Dr. Scranton for the first 8 days. He cycles through periods of panic, confusion, and anger throughout, and seems he was attempting to navigate 3001 to find a way out. Finally closed enough to record a log on the 11th day, though he did not notice it was operating for several more hours. Name: Robert Scranton. Age: 39. Birthday: September 19th, 1961. Favorite color: blue. Favorite song: Living on a Prayer. Wife: Anna. Name: Robert Scranton. Age: 39. Birthday: September 19th, 1961. Favorite color: blue. Favorite song: Living on a Prayer. Wife: Anna. She has green eyes. I love her very much. Name: Robert Scranton. Age: 39. Birthday: September 19th, 1961. Favorite color: blue. Height: 178 centimeters. Weight: 85 kilograms. Wife: Anna. Anna, I'm so sorry. Again. Name: Robert Scranton. Age: 39. Birthday: September 19th, 1961. Favorite color: blue. My wife's name is Anna. We got married August 12th, 1991. I hope she got out okay. Please let her be all right. Please let her be all right. Robert Scranton, 39, Anna, blue, wife. Please, please, God, please. Anna, Anna Bobana, Anna Bobana. What the hell is that? It is assumed at this point Dr. Scranton noticed the flashing light of the recording module. What the fuck? This thing's actually recording? Metallic clang heard. Voice is highly agitated and panicked. My name is Robert Scranton. Yeah, my name is Robert Scranton. Former researcher at Foundation Site 120. It has been, I don't know actually, I can't remember. I estimate it's been 10 days, but can anyone hear me? I don't know what's happened. I don't know where I am, and please, is anyone there? Hello, anyone? No one can hear me. Oh God, fuck. Fuck. Why the hell is this thing even working? It can't be working. It shouldn't be working. So what the hell? I need to see how long I can talk here. I think there's a cap or something on the recording log. I can't see anything. I can only see the red light blinking on and off. I can't see any switches next to it. I'm really hungry. Thirsty too. I think I should be dead from dehydration by now, but I don't know. Hi, little red light. Can you talk to me? Can you talk to Anna for me? Hello? I found the controls. 2 weeks, 3 days, 47 hours, 58 minutes. 2 weeks, 3 days, 47 hours, and 58 minutes. And that repeats multiple times there. Error with playback. Error playback. Wherever the hell I am, I'm pretty sure now that I don't need to eat to stay alive. It hurts a lot, but at this point, I don't think I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna take my time, I guess. Maybe some sort of miracle will happen and I'll get out. Keep dreaming, Robert. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna get some sleep. 3 weeks, 4 days, 19 hours. I have a picture of Anna in my pocket. I almost forgot. Little red light. Let me see your face, please. Just a little bit. I just want to see her a bit. Hi, Anna, I'm still here. I'm coming back, okay? 2 months, 4 days, 3 hours. Hi, Robert here. Yeah, I haven't really recorded much to hear in the past few weeks. Sorry, I gotta keep it together. Breathe. I've been busy trying to learn more about the place I'm in, my prison, my kingdom all my own. King Robert, God, I stink. Is there even air in this goddamn place? Stinky King Robert. King of goddamn nothing fuck. Sorry, I gotta keep this professional. I'll come back when I'm feeling rested. Okay, here goes. My name is Robert Scranton. I'm a former head researcher of Site 120, a Foundation facility dedicated to studying various reality-bending SCPs, for the purpose of developing more advanced countermeasures towards such threats. For the last red light, speak to me. 2 months, 8 days, 16 hours. What red light said, I've been trapped in what I believe to be an empty pocket dimension. Alone. Yeah, alone. All alone. I'm calling this place SCP. I don't know. I can't remember where we are. Screw it. I don't know what has happened in the past. Red light, please again. 2 months, 8 days, 16 hours. But no one else is around to argue at this point, and I'm just talking to this control panel to keep myself together. I need to keep a record. There might be some poor bastard in the future who ends up like me. And if this ever actually makes it out, maybe I can help stop that from happening. That's all I have going for me right now. I really need something to go for. So yeah, Robert Scranton, documenting a new SCP for research purposes. 2 months, 11 days, 10 hours. Item number SCP, I don't fucking care. The object class, Euclid, I guess. I don't know. I might update this in time. I need to explore more. Special containment procedures. God, I sound like so much like a shrink now. I don't know if we could contain wherever I am. It's definitely not on Earth. To be honest, I don't know where it is. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know where it is. I think it has something to do with the stabilizer prototype. I'll explain that more later. Wherever I am, I don't think it can be contained, much as created. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Entered. Yeah, entered is better. I came into this place because of some really bad reality bending accident. Robert, don't be like that. You don't know if there's no exit yet. Oh, living on a prayer, halfway there. 2 months, 11 days, 18 hours. So wait, no description. Robert, stick to the format. This place, it's some sort of reality gap, I think. It's dark, really dark. As in this little bright light that shows my words are actually being recorded is the only visible light in this entire place. I can't see my hands, I can barely see the control panel here. I had to basically use this light as a center, and I remember how many steps I take and which direction. I haven't gone past 100 yet. I'm too scared. I wonder if my hair is turning white right now. I can't even see what color it is anymore. Speaking of which, my head has been a bit itchy recently. If I don't concentrate on it, it's fine, but I feel this tingling all over my face. I'm not sure why. 2 months, 15 days, 4 hours. Okay. I need to relax for a minute. Holy shit. I just discovered a new property in this place. All this time, I've been thinking I might have been walking on some sort of flat ground, if you will. I kept my eye contact with the little red as far as I could see, and it seems I could walk in a straight, flat path. Jesus, my head is buzzing right now. I think the adrenaline is still kicking, but my hypothesis is correct, and this really is some sort of reality. Void. Then there shouldn't be anything to walk on. Now that I think about the whole time I've been here, it's been like it's felt like I'm walking, but I'm also swimming through something. And this something is thick and form-fitting. It has this pressure, which I don't know isn't the correct term, but god damn it, this place makes no sense anyways. Do my best to understand it, okay? So the best analogy I can come up with is this. It's like walking through really thick black gel. There's enough tension to keep me on a surface, but if I imagine myself pressing down hard enough, I can descend. I think I need to test this once more. I'll be back. 2 months, 17 days, 2 hours. Navigation is largely affected by conscious impulses to travel in a certain direction. So this definitely isn't a complete reality gap, at least according to mine and Anna's theories. If it were, I wouldn't have been able to move at all, since space wouldn't have existed. Okay, this makes a lot more sense than it did before. Great job, Robert. You're getting there. Come to think of it, I should have realized sooner when I was able to move on a flat plane and from Little Red. It always explains why I'm not dead from dehydration or hunger yet. Time barely passes in here. Okay, yeah, so I stood right next to Little Red and went straight down. Okay, from here on out, imagine Little Red as the origin of a 3D space. I went straight down, right? Yeah, and then I was able to move and able to come back to Little Red again. I've also been able to fly above Red. Move it in here slow, I said, like the gel analogy, the best I can describe it by. 2 months, 22 days, 3 hours. Reporting back for another update, Red. Come on, Red, lighten up. No pun intended. Come on, Red, crack a little smile. It's funny. Fine, whatever. This place still seems like it barely follows Kedgel's laws of reality parameters. And by barely, I mean really just barely. I'm pretty sure my map is right, but hold on. I'm going to check again. Yeah, pretty sure it's good still. Okay, this place, if we're using the standard Hume scale, I'm pretty sure I'm in a reality where the Hume field is 0.04-ish. Yeah, really, really fucking low. Like I've said above, space-time exists on a very minuscule scale. So my biology is not getting shot to hell and back because of my malnutrition. But that also means I'm not sure what that also means. Adding on from the last entry, I'm not sure how my biology will react in such low Hume concentration, actually. I mostly worked with higher than average Hume fields, and the reality benders we tested never had a field lower than 0.8. This is going to be a first, an all-time first. I remember Site-133's Promal Killer. They called it that because it broke the previous theory about the lowest limit of Hume concentration. Really expensive, really weird machine that brought a small area to 0.4, 0.5 is. Yeah. I was lying. Last log, I was lying to myself, my own body, and Little Red here too. We're about the realest things in this place, and that means over time, the Hume field's going to want to equalize. Now I'm going to go for now. I have some calculation to do again. Red, Anna, take note I'm using Cagel's second, third, and fourth laws. Got it? Use 0.05 as a surrounding. My external field is somewhere between 1 and 1.4. Use the second law as error estimation correction, and my internal as... Shit, I'm not done yet. I am real. I'm super real. Super duper real. Ultra real. The realest guy in the world of no real. You have no sense of humor as usual, Red. Talking about the LSS, Red. When we got sent here, I think our reality cranked up a notch, Red. Didn't pay attention in class? Hey, don't get fucking smart with me, Red. Okay, the point is the LSS surge is up to... Anyways, he's going crazy in this void reality.
Yeah.
2 months, 18 days, 7 hours. No, Red, not even fucking close. You must have converted Kegel's third law equation wrong. Because of the malfunctioning LSS we got blasted by, we're somewhere between 2.2 and 3.6. Yes, that's good, Red. That's very good. Because that means we have more time than we thought to. Before we fucking die? Okay. 2 months, 24 days, 5 hours. About 3 years for... if I don't interact too much. If I had LSS here, I could maybe stretch it out to 8, maybe. That's the best case scenario. But I know, but 3 years. 3 years and it's past the point of no return. I should definitely figure out something by then. I think I should be pretty good for a while at least. No, I won't be in here that long. I'll definitely figure something out. Hannah, what would we do with a case like this? I need your help, honey. That tingling I've been feeling, that's my Hume field diffusing, my reality fading. 3 years, I need to stabilize myself within 3 years. I've been thinking, Anna and I, we had this theory. Even though the Hume field is low, it's still a Hume field. And precisely since it's so low, Hume diffusion should take quite a while. Now, if I could recycle the fields, keep the diffusion from spreading too thin, it's only a theory, but it's worth a shot. That means... Hey, Red, I'm gonna have to go for a bit. I want to test something. You can't come with me. No, I'm sorry, Red. I'm really sorry. I want you to come, I do, but for to get together, the diffusion will increase faster. We both need as much time as possible. I need to figure out this place more. You need to make sure you keep all the info in your head. You'll be fine, Red. I know you will. You're tough. A lot tougher than me. It'll only be for a bit, Red. I need to see if I can find a way to keep us alive a bit longer. Maybe even get us out of here. If I can contain enough field, I can maybe even get us out. I'm not sure, but I need to find out, Red. We're talking about possibly escaping, okay? Yeah, it's a gap. A gap should have an end, like a walls of a canyon. I need to find a wall. Sorry, Red. I hope we're still friends when I come back. I'm going now. I'll see you soon. So now he's basically gonna go in one direction for a super long time, like in Minecraft, until he gets to the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
So 6 months, 10 days, 5 hours. Hello again, little Red. It's been a while. You know, thinking back, I don't know what the hell I was so excited about. This place, it's fucking hell. There's no wind. It just goes on and on. I traveled in one goddamn direction for 2 damn months. God, I'm so fucking stupid. Why did I think I could get out? I'm thinking like those old European shits that thought the end of the world was at the horizon. Stupid, Robert. Stupid. If I let myself fall down long enough, would I eventually hit a bottom? 10 months, 28 days, 15 hours. There's no bottom. And fuck you, Red. I'm sorry, Red. Don't don't go out. I'm sorry I turned you off. Come back, please. I turned 40 today. Happy birthday, Robert. I was adopted. Did you know that? Yeah, my parents left me in a box out on the side of the street. Got picked up by some American couple, which explains my not so Chinese names. I don't even know my original last name. I thought I'd share. How about you, Red? And I met on site in 1988. She was beautiful, still is. It was our eyes. She has beautiful eyes. My eyes are gray, they're boring, but hers, they're beautiful. Do you think she's still worried about me, Red? She's still looking for me? You know, Red, you're a great listener, but I never hear you talk about yourself. Come on, don't be shy. There's no one else around, right? I'm sorry, Robert. I'm afraid I can't do that. Haha, Red, you're so hilarious. Were you married? Kids? Any family at all? Girlfriend, boyfriend? Come on, Red. I won't judge. Just talk to me, please. My head hurts. My feet feel like they've been asleep forever. I worked at a comic store as a kid. So much cheaper back then. I got free stuff at the end of each week. I liked Spider-Man the best. I was in a box, side of the street. What the fuck? Red, have you seen my picture? The picture, Red? Anna's picture? Where is it? Anna, no! Anyways, they lose picture. It's fading. She's fading. Back to the Future style. No, please come on, sweetie. Stay here. It's too soon. It's too soon. My math isn't wrong. It's not wrong. Should be fine, Anna. Can't hold you. Come back, Anna. Sweetie, honey, Anna, please. Red, get help. Black hair, green eyes, 160. Black hair, green eyes, 160. Black hair, green eyes, 160. That repeats. Anna and I got married in 91. We couldn't really get the nicest suit and dress we wanted because of work, but damn, we both looked great. Anna looked better, of course. We just danced and danced the whole night. Got the whole week off. Even a job like mine lets you enjoy your honeymoon. So come on, Red, open up. Put her there. High five. Come on, Red. 1 year, 2 months, 27 days. Close. Dr. Scranton's voice is noticeably distorted now. Hypothesized to be a combination of both him and the control panel finally showing signs of a reality breakdown. Robert, cold. I can't feel my legs anymore. I think I'm hitting that point we talked about. A low Hume field, diffusion, equilibrium. Bunch of garbage. I don't know what's real in here anymore. I'm not sure if I'm real or something close to it. If I'm really going out like this, I don't want to die yet. I ran up in one straight diagonal line for 6 months. I went down in one. No, I just went down again for 8. There's still no bottom, Red. Still no bottom. What have you been up to? So basically, he's no clipped, so that sucks.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Red? Have you been listening for me all this time? You're a stubborn guy, Red. Lucy? Red? Sorry, I must have fallen asleep. What do you want? Sorry, I'll try to remember. Lucy. That's what we wanted to call our kid if we had one. Lucy Scranton, Lucy Lang, and I both thought it would have a nice ring. No, Red, I don't remember picking out a boy's name. Good morning. Good morning. We've talked the whole through. Man, I really suck at tap dancing. Can't feel my feet at all. Okay, you try, Red. Kedgell's law states that the human fields diffuse. Kedgell's law states that my balls will eventually fall off if this keeps up. Anna Bobana. Anna Bobana. She hated that song. It actually became a joke between us, you know? We made it the words that turn you on. Come on, Red. Act your age. Don't be immature. You're gonna have to fuck with so much science when we get out. This place breaks apart rules like my hand is breaking right now. Spider webs. My left hand, spider webs. There was a reality bending spider at Site 120 once. I should crush it, Red. Would you crush it for me when we get out? Average 10, 15 kilometers a day, plus a few breaks. 32, 30, 10, no. 11, no. At least 300 left and shit, no. The faster going down, fuck it. I'm saying about 600 kilometers down. Took a hell of a lot longer coming up. Far down, bottomless, infinite, and beyond. Boomfield, breaking down at the rate of what's the constant and modified primal relations? 10 to the fourth. 1 year, maybe add a few more months. Red, how does David sound? David, you asked about. Sorry, I woke you. My hands. My hands are going through each other, Red. Please help my hands. I can't feel my hands. They're going through each other like they're ice water. Red, you know that stupid magic trick your uncle showed you where he pulls his thumb off? But it was really just his other tucked under? Yeah, I just did that with my real thumb. It didn't even hurt. Just came off. I think I'm gonna be sick. I think it's just floating right now. And I can't even pick it up. My hand just passes through it. My left pinky feels like an onion. Separated. Nice try, Hell. Rings on the right hand. Nice try, left. I can go through myself. I can feel inside me. Feels warm, but also cold. When I sleep, my hands go in my head. I'm sleeping on my back now. Static. I'm static like a TV. Well, I only need one kidney, right, Red? Look at this. Let me keep my heart, just my heart. That's all I want. Lucy, David, are you there? I want to see you. It's not fair. Come on. Quit messing around. I was joking when I said that. I was joking. Come on. That's fucked up. I was joking. I'm a man. Be a man, Robert. You're a man. What the fuck? 4 years, 6 months, 18 days. I'm not doing it myself anymore. I can feel it happening on its own. Finally, I can. I still can't say it. I'm still scared. I definitely won't eat anymore now. Still really hungry. It's fucking disgusting, Robert, and you know it. See, Red thinks so, too. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy went somewhere. This little foot. 5 years, 13 days. 5 years, 14 days. 5 years, 15 days. Stop it, you're hurting me. 5 years, 19 days. Feeling better now, Red. Sorry. How do you do it, Red? Keep it together. Spill it out. I need some help here. No audio is recorded for the next 9 months. 5 years, 9 months, 2 days. 5 years, 9 months, 3 days. Automated message repeats 97 more times. You little shit, I thought you had left me. Sorry to say, Red, there's not much left here. It's been hard. I've 184. I've tried to kill myself 184 times. It didn't work. None of them worked. I don't even know how much there is of me anymore. At least 1 foot, because I can move. Probably a few leg muscles too, but I'm wobbly. Insides are shit. Still a heart, maybe a lung. This place really won't let me stop. I did die, Red. Come on. Don't look at me like I don't want your pity and I don't want shock, anger, or fear. 224. I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Scranton counts from 1 to 220 through 247 several times over the next 13 hours. I died a lot. I tried to suffocate, I tried to snap my neck, tried to bite myself apart. In this place, it's not real. I left, I saw myself on the ground, and I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't leave. There's no way to leave. Just floated back down, and each damn time there was less of me. How much more can I take away and still live? So why are we back now? 5 years, 9 months, 12 days. This place is getting smaller, Red. Did you somehow do this? There's an end here, for sure now. It's gone from God knows how long to... There's like a veil further out, and when I touched it, it hurt like hell. Red, what's going on? It's not dark. That border or whatever is getting brighter. I mean, it's still dark, but I can actually see something now. What the fuck is this? 5 years, 10 months, 10 days. Red, you're solid. Like, no, you're really fucking solid. You're real. And I'm real too when I touch you, but Red, it really hurts when I do. I think that if I touch, I might fall apart. You really fucking hurt, Red. What the fuck is going on? About 3 kilometer in radius and closing. Is this something like Hegel's fourth law? But what the hell is taking it? You're causing a collapse. 2 kilometers. Oh God, what's gonna happen when it closes? Not collapsing. Waves. They're waves? What? Robert, you're a goddamn genius. Not walls, windows. Open windows. 5 years, 10 months, 28 days. Anna, can you hear me? These waves, this place. Okay, imagine 2 realities as 2 pieces of paper stuck together. This place is the space squished between. There should only be 2 realities parallel, but this place is a tiny but infinite third in between. But what would happen if you fell into a hole crossing a bridge from point A to point B? Remember Class C wormholes? It's theories about a wormhole that was full of holes. I think this is where one of those holes leads. It doesn't lead to a different universe, it leads to nothing. A dead end. This place is a dead end. Class C broken entry. These waves, wherever they're coming from, they're from some parallel reality interacting with this place, displacing this in between this place ever so slightly. They're all pushing on me in red. They're pushing or sucking us towards them, gradually creating a new wormhole towards home. What's going to happen when I go back, when the window closes? Think, damn it, Robert, think. Think harder. Red, I'm gonna have to move away from you now. I don't know if you're sick or something. You really messed up right now. Call me when you're feeling better. I can't think. Right. Blood. Blood. There's way too much. Drip, drip. Where does it all go? I haven't tasted barf in forever. Not even when I threw up after my... You're my man, Robert. Oh God. Oh God, not again. Voice breaks. Retching. More retching. Red, I don't know if I'm ready to go back anywhere yet. 5 years, 11 months, 3 days. No, Red, I'm not being selfish. It wasn't you. It was these goddamn waves coming in. I can't be near them. See this, Red? Look at me. I can't be near them. They'll kill me. I passed the 3 years quite a while back, remember? Because even after all this time, I don't want to die, Red. I'm still scared. Red, I'm scared, okay? You want to understand. You're not human. Oh, I'm sorry for offending you, Red. I didn't mean it like that. Look at me. You're my friend. Don't you get that? You're my best friend. But let's face it. You've got a much better chance of getting out of here. Just leave me alone, Red. Just for a bit. Can you hear the waves coming in, Red? That little hum and shake as it hits your ears? I can, and it's getting louder every time. And it hurts so bad. Just let me go. Let me go, damn it. Another 5 years. 5 more years. If this keeps up, I'm going to I'm getting restabilized for another 5 damn years. Over the next 5 days, the control panel does begin to pick up a low frequency hum that comes out in pulses. The volume increases steadily, and as it does, Dr. Scranton can be heard screaming, crying, and speaking incoherently in the background. 5 years, 11 months, 9 days. Complete silence for 5 days. Pulses increase in volume as well as the frequency of 30 per minute. Loud splattering noise. Can you do that? A loud splattering noise? Here, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, loud splattering noise. Red, give me your leg. I need support. Give me your lever, arm, your hand. Red, I need to see better. Give me your light. No light needed. I got it. Sorry, something else. Anna, I want pretty eyes, Anna. Give me your eye. I only have one. Anna, give me your lips. I want to kiss you again. Anna, give me your tongue. I'm hungry. Anna, spare a toe. Anna, give me your brain. I only have half. I'm sorry, Anna. I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. Anna, I can hold your hand. I lost my ring. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We'll find another way out. There's still enough of me left. Another 5 years. 5 years to figure something out. Not yet, Red. Please, I know you want to go, but I'm not ready yet. I love you, Red. I love you, Anna. 5 years, 11 months, 20 days. 5 years, 11 months, 21 days. I think this is the final one. On December 23rd, 2005, the LSS control panel spontaneously appeared back within Site 120 testing facility, Reality Lab A. Doctor, initial Hume field readings of the anchor are stable. Output readings are 2.3 with at a 0.001% fluctuation. Good, Skinner. Let's hope this holds. Hold on. What the hell? What's wrong? Something has appeared inside the testing zone. What? Ma'am, a large object has materialized within the anchor field. What's the call? Kill the power? Call on the team? Skinner, what the hell are you? Oh my god. Where the hell did that thing come from? I don't know, ma'am. It just appeared out of nowhere. It smells awful. I can smell it from here. Jesus Christ. It smells like death. It's like vomit and blood. Ma'am? Ma'am? Do not abort, Skinner. I repeat. Do not abort. Keep that field up and do not abort. Ma'am, what's going on? Reduce Hume field to 1.7. I'm entering the containment zone. Do not disengage the field, or we risk destabilizing the object. Yes, ma'am. Yes, this is Dr. Matthew Skinner requesting splashing footsteps heard. Oh God, what the hell? What is all this? This is Robert? Is this you? Oh God, please don't let it be you. Don't let it be you, Robert. Thought, how can this thing be? Electronic beeping. Ma'am, what are you doing? You shouldn't touch that. This is Lang Scranton's stabilizer interface. Welcome back, Dr. Lang. What would you like to access audio log playback starting from January 2nd, 2000? Oh God, what the hell happened to this thing? It's like someone exploded on it. Oh God. It's gray. His gray. Where's the other? Accessing audio files. Please verbally state your password to continue, Dr. Lang. Password is Xano Bobana. Oh my God, it's everywhere. What the hell? Request acknowledged. Processing. I'm sorry, there are no audio logs for January 2nd, 2000. Dr. Scranton accessed log on January 13th, 2000 via voice recognition that time. Playback now, damn it. Play it back. Oh God, Robert, sweetie, what happened? Confirmed, Dr. Lang, retrieving audio files. Ma'am, you really shouldn't be touching that barehanded. It could be hazardous. You should wait for the cleaning team. There's so much blood here. There's so much, honey. Are you okay? Where did you go? Oh my God. Ma'am, Dr. Lang, please step away. His hand, his ring, it just fell to. Ma'am, what? Oh shit. Jesus Christ. Dr. Lang, step away. Please come back. We'll get you out here for now. Everything will be all right. Files retrieved, Dr. Lang. Playing now. Dr. Lang, please come with me. We'll get help. You hear me, Dr. Lang? You can hear me. Name. Robert Scranton, age 39. Birthday. September 19th, 1961. Favorite color, blue. Favorite song, Living on a Prayer. Wife, Anna. Thudding sound heard as falling on wet pavement. Dr. Lang? Dr. Lang? Report, this is Dr. Matthew Skinner, reporting from Site 120 Reality Lab. I need medical attention here immediately. That's it.
Nice.
So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so he eventually escaped, spawned back in, just splattered the control panel.
There wasn't enough of him left to.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fucked up. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm done reading for the night. I am done.
Yeah.
Unless you have, I think that's
No,
a good place to call
it's late. Yeah.
Yeah, it's late. But anyways, it's always good getting back to SCPs, all that spooky stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
We'll
fun.
see you next week for another episode. Any closing words, Colton?
No.
No.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The Odd Drunk Podcast recommends you follow their Instagram and join their Facebook group for more fun content. To visit all of our current streaming and social media platforms, visit the link tree in the description. If you enjoy the show, we would be appreciated it if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. The Odd Drunk Podcast would like to remind you to drink responsibly and not to drink and drive.